Good morning, everybody. I hope your evening went well. I actually am feeling a little better this morning, so maybe it broke yesterday. 3 days on the couch may have been enough. I will lay low today and not press the issue in any way, shape, or form, but that's where we are. The doctor said Mucinex, plenty of fluids, call her again on Thursday, so that's where I am. Thanks, Nancy and Chuck. Appreciate it. Yeah, yesterday was actually the last 3 days were pretty disappointing. This thing has been around forever, and you call it, I don't know how it is in your area, but in Wichita, whatever the flu has been, it does not go away. So anyway, I think it's on the wane. I think the biggest news underneath the surface yesterday was that a lot of puts were covered in the note and the bond. That usually precludes a change in direction, or at least a pause. People are taking profits and looking at what they have. We're going to have option expiration next week, so that's where we are. We're in the April crude contract now. We've rolled to that, so adjust accordingly. So here we are. Can we bust 127? There's really, really good support in this 126.16 area, structurally, 16.20. 26.16, 26.20. And the resistance is where it was last night, 12 to 16. So a lot of it's going to be dependent upon what the E-mini does today. The biggest news today is going to be industrial production, but first we have housing starts, pretty much where it's been, 1 plus 07. Permits, 1 plus 07, 1 million. We've got PPI, and I'll pay any attention to, but good news on all fronts, minus a half. This is a precursor. It leads everything else, core plus a tenth. Again, the Fed's not fighting inflation by raising interest rates, so the market will not pay a lot of attention to that. The big number this morning is industrial production at plus 0.4. Manufacturing production at plus 0.4. Again, all tied to the automobile sector. And capacity utilization, which no one pays any attention to, at 79.9. So industrial production is the market's focus, the E-mini's reaction to such, and the second would be housing starts. This would be number one, and this would be number two. The start information at PPI is out earlier. So I think we are where we are last night. Now, we're rounding up this morning. Quite often, the low is set in that X period, the W or X period before the market opens. So I do think there's one short left in the market. 12 to 16 is resistance, so we're going to make S1 11 to 15, and 19 to 23 for S2. On the buy side, 1 to 5, and 25 to 29. And that'll get us going. 11 to 15, obviously getting it it'd be really, really nice to get something off at 15 or 15 and a half against the overnight session high. We'll have to see what comes up. The 11 gives us a little wiggle room. Looking at the 30-year, and the knob spread came up a couple of ticks last night. It's still under pressure. So here we are at 6. We've got this high at 13, high at 15, overnight session high of 18. So we're going to make 11 to 15, just kind of lean against that. Sell 1 and 19 to 23 for sell 2. On the buy side, we'll give it a little bit more room. We'll make it 29 to 1, and then 21 to 25. Again, yesterday there was a lot of covering in the puts, and sometimes it's a day early, but that usually signals the end of the across-board selling. The international news last night, the burning death of the 45 Iraqi soldiers was confirmed. It's almost like these guys said, well, beheadings are becoming passé, drive-by shootings are passé, a bomb doesn't get that much. What else do we have to do to take the world's attention? And you become numb to this because in the news cycle, we've reported that 20, 30, 40 times. We're not getting as much traction off of that. So Libya, Egypt is kind of in between Libya, Syria, Iraq. We put Marines into Kuwait. We're going to be putting more soldiers into Iraq. This thing is taking on a life of its own, and the reason is that there's no Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, some of the Gulf states, Jordan are standing up to it. The United States won't even share targeting information for ISIS with Jordan and other places in Egypt. It does not make sense unless you're for ISIS. It's the only reason that you do that. And this genie is out of the bottle, folks. And somebody's going to have to put that genie back, and that is probably us. But it may be a couple, 3 more years or some horrific act before that can happen. Okay, 10 to 15 is where resistance is. The first sell is 10 to 12. Second sell is 15 to 17. And then we've got the buck to 03. Well, I didn't bring up Iran in my talks, but if you really wanted to put the end to all of this started in 1979, and the loci of terrorism is Iran. It's not all these other places. So it's a battle between the Sunnis and the Shias, and the United States has misplayed their hand at every level. We armed what is now called ISIS with weapons from Libya. It's a mess. No coherent, no cohesive strategy, react, and lead from behind. And I think it's epitomized in what the State Department's, whatever that young lady's name is, what ISIS needs are good jobs. We can't solve this. It just... you just wonder what they have in between their ears, a vacuum, in my opinion. But most of these people, most of these people live in little enclaves. They live in these little islands, and when they travel, they go to these little enclaves. They don't see this stuff, and if you haven't been put in harm's way, and if you haven't been around people that would just as soon kill you as look at you, then it's pretty easy to think that more money, a better job, something might happen. That's not what it takes to solve this problem, unfortunately. I have to kill a lot of people, and that won't happen until some new horrific act happens. Okay, we're at 83. We had support just below 75, so this 60 to 75 area is buy one. And 40, that we rejected prices below 30, so we'll make 35 to 40. I've let them get stops below 50 for buy two. On the sell side, 14, 14, 10, sell 1, then 25 to 35, so 2. I'm pretty sure that we'll get a little bit more about what the deal is out of we'll at least get a trial balloon floated. And Europe has said interest rates are negotiable, duration is negotiable, forgiveness is not at this moment in time. At some point, and I think they'll have to wait till they see their economy starting to grow where they can clearly show that they can write off this debt and everybody will be happy before they'll start talking about terms of debt forgiveness. But Greece will get checks. They're still able to borrow from the bank to fund their banks, to keep the liquidity going. So I think that's probably what's going to happen this week. And the reason it'll happen is because Greece has needs the money, and the EU has the checkbook. Sell 1, 53.75 to 54. Sell 2, 25 to 50. On the buy side, we have bond at 53.06. We have volume at 86, so we'll make 52.75, 53 buy 1. And then 52, 52 and equal buy 2. And again, I don't see, when the shooting starts, you never know it's going to spread to or if and when it can stop. So I just think you have a reluctance by the spec community to get heavy short. They'll day trade it from the short side, no doubt. But they won't set big shorts unless they can deliver into it. And I wouldn't either. I mean, you can get your head handed to you. Hard to say what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. It looks like the Ukrainian troops are, the ceasefire has not really come into effect or isn't holding. But it looks like it's starting to wind down a little bit. Okay, again, the easiest trade to see is failure to take out these two highs right here. So some failure at 98 to the buck is right there. The next trade would be 4 to 6. I don't see any reason for the market not to close above 2100. In the month of February, we're just really, really close. Today's news: industrial production up 0.4. It's at 107. Could be what kicks the makes the fundamentalists want to play a little bit more. Okay, you can see that volume is being up in each of these distributions. So this 93 area right here, this G period low, so 91, 93 is buy 1. Let them get stops below the overnight session low. And then we have this very, very clean breakdown here in the 87, so we'll make 86, 88 where we were yesterday, buy 2. I think the market is going to trade higher. I think everything is pointing to higher prices, so the preferred side is the long side, but if we fail to get through 2100, we can certainly be short. There is no timetable to close above 2100. We're just there. It'll take about 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that right now. I'll be back with you as soon as possible.